Now available in paperback and e-readers, John Haynes, Godbreaker. The man who rules the world takes on the Asgardian god of thunder in this action-packed, all-new John Haynes series adventure. Get your copy of John Haynes, Godbreaker in paperback and e-readers at online booksellers everywhere. The late David Carroll said that black people don't want to do the heavy lifting in order to create a political agenda for black America. Now, the reason why I have to agree with the late David Carroll when he made that point is because a lot of black people don't want to go out here and do the hard work that is needed to create a political agenda. Instead, what they want to do is take whatever ready-made product is presented to them by a black celebrity or some other black person like a bootlick who is telling them what they want to hear. And an example of this was shown to us in 2020 when Ice Cube decided to come out with his contract with Black America. And as Ice Cube came out with his contract with Black America, many black Americans got caught up in their feelings about a celebrity paying attention to their political interests, that they were not thinking critically about this individual looking to circumvent the entire political process. Now, when it came to Ice Cube, what he wanted to do was get in front of the black community with his contract with Black America, and he wanted to go out here and make this an agenda for black people. Moreover, what he wanted to do was present that whole contract to Donald Trump and Joe Biden in proposals he decided to submit on our behalf. Now, where Ice Cube went wrong was he didn't want to do any of the heavy lifting, and that heavy lifting meant he was going to have to go out here and do the hard labor of going to the black community first. Now, Ice Cube did not go to the black community with his contract with Black America first, and he didn't go to institutions that could get a movement going in the grassroots, such as New Black Media, and that's where Ice Cube was out here participating in some suspect behavior. Because in order to go out here and create an actual black agenda, you need the support of the black community, and you need to go out here and do the heavy lifting of looking to build the base for your political support. So Ice Cube didn't want to go out here and do that. He didn't want to go out here and do that heavy lifting of going to New Black Media first and going to black people in the masses to let them know that he wanted to build that base. And this is why Ice Cube's entire contract with Black America was null and void, because he did not form an agreement with black people, and he didn't want to form that agreement because what he wanted to do was go out here and circumvent the entire process of going to black people, and he wanted to circumvent it because he didn't want to go out here and do that heavy lifting to go out here and help talk to black people about the base he wanted to build, because again, what he wanted to do was think he could take a shortcut to Donald Trump and Joe Biden based on his black celebrity. And this is where the late David Carroll's points about building a base are basically proven to be true, because with a lot of black folks, they don't want to go out here and do that heavy lifting, and they don't want to do that heavy lifting to build that base because they don't want to deal with the emotions of many in the black community. And because they don't want to deal with the emotions of many in the black community, what they do is look to try to avoid doing that hard work, because doing that hard work will not only require you to have discipline and resolve, but you're going to have to build up a very thick skin as you're dealing with all of the different groups of the black community. Now, I know from experience working with homeless individuals when I was a part of the AmeriCorps Vista program, that you have to build up a strong, thick skin when you're dealing with individuals who are a part of the homeless population. Moreover, as a publisher of positive black fiction, I also know you have to build up a strong, thick skin as related to going out here and doing that work. And again, that's what you have to do for that business, and that's the same type of thick skin a black person would need to have if they were looking to go out here and look to build a political base the way the late David Carroll proposes. Because in order to go into a black community and have to go out here and trying to build that base, it means you're going to have to talk to lots of black people from a lot of different walks of life. And a lot of those people are going to be very angry. Some of them are even going to be hostile. Some of them are going to be going out here exploding in rage. And a lot of these people are going to be taking out their frustrations on you as you're looking to go out here and try to do the work to improve the quality of life in your community. Moreover, you're going to have to deal with, as you're trying to deal with all of that anger and hostility, you're going to have to deal with people going out here looking to go out here and attack your credibility, going out here digging up dirt, going out here looking to dox you, looking to attack you. And also, you're going to have to deal with these other bootlicks out here looking to try to gain favor as related to discrediting your name. So this is going to be very hard work, and it's not something for the greenhorn out here. And that's what David Carroll was talking about as related to building a base. This is, again, going to be backbreaking hard work, and it's going to be thankless work where you're basically disrespected at every turn. So this is not something that is going to be easy work. No, I consider this to be extremely hard work. And sadly, a lot of black folks don't want to go out here and do that hard work because this is backbreaking, brutal, hard work in trying to establish the foundations for that base of individuals so that you can start laying the foundations for that agenda. Because just trying to get all these individuals to come together in a single space is an arduous task, and trying to get these individuals to come together in a single space where they learn how to navigate through their emotions so that they can be heard. This is just a monumental, gargantuan task when you consider how emotional black people are. Because if you take 2 to 3 black people and you put them in a room, what's going to happen is they're going to stop hearing each other because they're so busy feeling and caught up in their feelings about whatever trivial thing that it's hard to just get them to just hear each other. And again, that's going to be a backbreaking, thankless task because as you're trying to bring people together to talk about issues that are important to them as related to getting together to be in the room, that's already a challenge right there, because when you put 2 or 3 black people together on something as simple as a cookout, you got people looking to fight each other over pieces of chicken and pieces of cornbread. And imagine doing this as related to a platform of politics. You're going to have, again, a room with a lot of people getting into heated arguments and heated discussions, and even some people looking to even get physical. And in some cases, some of these people may even start using weapons or making weapons. So again, hard work, but no black person wants to go do that work because trying to get black people together to come together, this is again monumental task as related to politics. And it's a monumental task. And again, a lot of people, they don't want to do that work because you're going to basically be considered a public enemy, number one, for just trying to bring a message to bring all these people together and being a messenger that brings them to come together. It's just going to be very hard, But you have people, again, they don't want to go out here and do that heavy lifting because they don't want to deal with that anger. They don't want to deal with that frustration. They don't want that rage directed at them. They don't want that frustration directed at them. They don't want all of that emotion coming at them. And that's a lot of emotion coming at someone, and it can be very overwhelming to go out here and deal with. And that's why he called it a thankless job, because you're trying to help black people, but sadly they can't see how you're trying to help them. They're just caught up in what they feel right now, and they're not thinking critically about this is about trying to get us on the same page so that we can go out here and lay out our agenda for our community and lay out an agenda for our community where we can go out here and consistently agree on what policies we want put in place so that there's a structure towards laying a direction for us getting those tangibles laid out on the table for what we want from the government. And after you go out here and again get all these individuals together to agree on these things, then you have to go out here and go through the process of trying to figure out who will be the representatives that you will send. Again, this is another part of the process that is going to be a major challenge. It's going to be a major challenge because what you're trying to do is pick the individuals who you want to represent you. You're picking the people who you believe will go out here and be the most effective at getting you the tangibles that you want. So this is a whole process that needs to be done. Unfortunately, when you're dealing with black people, what happens is, and because a lot of us are just too scared to trust each other, what we do is go out here and we don't want to go through that whole process. So what we look for are ready-made plans by celebrities like an Ice Cube, hoping he'll go out here and make a plan for us, when the only person who can give you exactly what you want is you. And again, it's up to you to go out here and get a plan that benefits you. And again, black people don't want to do that work because black people don't want to come together because of their feelings about each other, their feelings about a subject, their feelings about things that have gone on in the past. And again, it's hard to bring people together like that. And again, this is heavy lifting because it's an arduous task. It's heavy labor. It's just, again, you're toting big blocks to bring to lay that foundation. And this is a major task that is a challenge. And people don't understand how much work is going to be involved with it. Now, I know from experience how much work is involved. And when I was working with Strive as related to trying to recruit homeless adults for the job readiness workshop, because a lot of those folks, they were dependent on the government programs like Section 8 and welfare and many of those programs, and they didn't want to go into job readiness and get a job because they were scared of losing their benefits. A lot of people, they wanted to hold on to those benefits because they represented security, and that going into the job market, that represented insecurity. So I knew what a thankless task that was as related to heavy lifting, making those presentations. It was again hard work to do and a thankless job to do because you're trying to help improve that person's quality of life by trying to help them get from one place in life where they're miserable to a place where they can go out here and take power, but they're afraid to take power because they're afraid to lose. That's what the homeless were like back in 2000, and that's what black people are like today. They have that same fear of losing what they have, fear of taking their power, and that's what you're going to have to deal with as related to that heavy lifting. In trying to uplift them, you're going to have to try to help them understand the power that they have. But the whole thing is, guys like Ice Cube don't want to do that work. No, they don't want to do that work at all. And I also know about it because as I've been trying to sell positive black fiction to black people for over 15 years, I know that it's hard to sell black people on books to try to show them a different side of life, because a lot of black folks want to stay in the narratives of the hood, the narratives of the ghetto. They want to stay in the black box that's acceptable to white people, because they believe in a covert contract where if they fit these stereotypes, they will go out here and get accepted by whites who will lift them up. That's what they believe. And again, fear keeps a lot of black people down, and you're going to be dealing with a lot of anger rooted in fear as you look to make changes. And again, that's very stressful, very painful to deal with, and it's something you're going to be dealing with all the time as related to black folks, and it's going to be very stressful to deal with. And again, guys like Ice Cube, they provide ready-made solutions that are not meant to benefit you. They're meant to benefit them. And people would rather go for the ready-made solution rather than go out here and do that heavy lifting, because that heavy lifting means conflict. That heavy lifting means having to deal with anger. It has to deal with a lot of people hurting your feelings. And again, you have to be able to navigate through your emotions in order to deal with all of those feelings of anger, frustration, rage, and even people looking to go out here and participate in violence, because they see you changing the world that they have that is smooth, changing the world that they are codependent in, where they are getting some benefits from white supremacy. It means dealing with major change. And again, this is something that is not for the faint of heart. No, this heavy lifting is something that is hard for people to deal with. It is hard for people to go out here and deal with that type of heavy lifting. Again, David Carroll was telling the truth when he says it is heavy lifting that you're gonna have to do. And a lot of people, they ain't got the backbone to go out here and deal with that kind of labor every day and deal with all of the stress that you're gonna have to deal with, because creating a black agenda, creating a black base that goes out here is on the same page. This is tough labor. It's something that is going to, again, be a major challenge, and it's hard work that you're not going to see results immediately. No, you're not going to see results tomorrow or next week. This is going to take years of hard work to do. And the only way to get that work done is you got to put your hands to the ground. You got to go out here and do that work like guys like Jason Black and Professor Black Truth are doing out here, working in the grassroots. I mean, that's the hard work that needs to be done. But black folks a lot of times don't want to do that hard work because we have been conditioned to be pacified. We have been conditioned to take instant results. And that's what Ice Cube was offering when he ran over to Joe Biden and Donald Trump, looking to go out here and circumvent the process. And he looked to circumvent the process, not understanding that, again, this is a process that needs to be done. Every community goes out here and goes through that process. Every community goes through having to deal with the disagreements to get people to the point where they agree, and they work through the emotions and the drama to get to the community to a place where everybody is on the same page. Everybody is working towards the same goal, and everybody understands that, yes, you may disagree, but you have to agree to disagree with those in order to get what you need. And everybody, in order to get the consistent tangibles, has to go out here and be on that page so that we can go out here and pick the person who will represent us, who will be accountable to us. And the people who will be accountable to us, these are the people who are supposed to deliver the results. And if they do not go out here and bring tangibles to us, we go out here and choose someone else even before the primary begins. And that person understands that their job is done. If they can't bring in results, That's how things are done. And again, the late David Carroll tried to teach Black America about political process. And you have people out here saying, oh, Ice Cube needed to throw up his hands and go on about his business. Yeah, he needs to go on about his business, because if his business isn't about doing that heavy lifting and getting all of the black community on the same page, then he's not on the page with us. He's not on code with us. And if you're not ready to do the hard work and do the hard labor, then you got no business trying to represent anybody in the black community. Now, if you want to pick up some of my positive black fiction on the SJS Direct imprint, like the ISIS series, the Esteem series, the John Haynes series, and the books of the Spinsterella trilogy, you can find all those books on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. You can also find it at other online booksellers like Smashwords, the iBookstore, and Google Play. And if you want to see me make more videos like this, you can send a donation to my Patreon, my PayPal, or my Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe. Now available on Lulu, John Haynes at Death's Door. The man who rules the world takes on the Greek god of death in this action-packed, all-new John Haynes comic book. Get your copy of the first John Haynes comic at lulu.com today. Support Black-owned and Black-operated digital broadcast media. www.niceradionetwork.com. Nice Radio Network, broadcasting 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.